Welcome to vanofaction.com. This is the second installment on the manufacturing and installing of vinyl panels to the inside of your van for those places where you're not going to be using wood. And I got to tell you, we were so pleased with the results we got. I want to show you this in almost real time so you can see all the steps and how easy it really is. The first part of it is right here. It was too long a video for one to be in one, so I've broken it into two. This is where we're going to do the folding behind and the installation. You'll be surprised at how easy it is, and it really elevated the inside of our van to what we thought was another level. It looks so professional. Come on with us. Along the way, if you like this, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe, because we can use the loving, and by all means, leave a comment. Let's get started. I got the vinyl stuck onto the plywood just fine. The foam worked well. Full disclosure, putting the vinyl on the foam was a very sensitive thing to do, and it was the first one I did totally alone. I got a couple of bubbles in it. The second one I got a little bit of help just to hold just help hold things, and it went on much better. So I'm gonna redo the first one again. Putting the vinyl on the foam was really a two-person job, but now that it's on, now it's time to start wrapping it around the back of the sheet. And this is really simple. It really couldn't be easier, I don't think. This is the piece that doesn't have foam. Along the edges, it's just a simple matter of pulling it up and stapling it. I'll show you that. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to start in the middle, wrap it around, pull it tight, hit it with a staple gun. Come along a little bit further. Some people have an air gun for this. I'm not that fortunate. Go. Now the corners. When we get to the corners, anywhere, even down the curve along here, the trick's going to be to just make sure that it folds around smoothly. And to accomplish that, I'm going to try it this way on this one. I've cut this corner off in line, as you can see. I'm going to pull this one up around the corner. And I got a little bit of grace period here because none of these are going to be exposed when it's all done, which is going to give me a little bit of good space there. And then this one. Now, before I pull that one up, I've got this problem here, or this channel, not a problem. I got this channel. Let's see. Take a look at this. Hopefully that'll work. Yeah. I have this curve. Obviously, it's not going to fold in there, so I have to find a way to work around the corners. And I'm going to do that by cutting a couple of Y's. Here. I'm kind of making this up, but it's got to work fine. I'm cutting back from the. I can cut some off. I'm cutting back from where the actual board is, so even if it's a little bit off, it's not going to matter much. This complete sheet's going to be hidden ultimately by the trim that goes on it, on the top and the bottom. This side will go up underneath the windowsill. Okay, that's going to work there. Let me pull this one up first. And then, that one should have just another little cut. Like the look of it, right there. You could make these as small as you wanted to, I suppose. And I'm gonna pull that one way down there. Okay. Okay. The vinyl panel with foam at the head of the bed. These panels are all done exactly the same way, whether they have foam or not. It's just all done exactly the same way. That's the head of the bed. That's the foot of the bed. And then when I saw that, I thought, you know what? maybe I could use some of that in the panel spaces in the door. So I built these panels for the door, and then I added a little storage space in them, nothing to it, just a little frame, painted it black, and put some of the vinyl in the back of it. And then I had to build in the back of the door, or the back of the bed. And I thought, you know what, it might look kind of cool to see that vinyl from the back as well. So all it is 2 pieces of plywood, and those 2 pieces laminated together will give me lots of strength to carry the weight of the bed at the back. It'll box in the mattress, and I'm going to put the vinyl on it so it all ties together. This is the piece with the vinyl here. The process is the same for every one of them, but I just wanted to show you something here that may come in handy for you. Now, this is the look I'm going for. I want a nice square piece of vinyl that I can screw to the back of that bed box and laminate those 2 pieces together to give me the strength. But this piece just needs to be nice and squarely wrapped around. I'm not going to be stapling it, so I want to show you how I did that. First thing you do is you glue the field and put the whole vinyl down on the field, and then after that's done, you come along and you spray the edge of the plywood. You see here. You spray the edge of the plywood and the back of the panel. Let it dry. Just let it dry off. So it's really more than just tacky. And then, okay, so I've got contact cement on the edge of the plywood, and I have contact cement on the vinyl. Now they're cold. It's cold. It's not going to stick. Not going to stick at all. And that's the way you want it, because it gives you more control. A little bit of heat will activate the glue again. So starting in the middle of the sheet, just a little bit of heat, the glue gets activated and the vinyl gets very pliable. Then you can literally just fold it around the corner, and the glue sticks really, really, really well. Just help it around the corner on the part that you've heated up. You'll feel it when you get to the part that isn't as warm, or if it starts to cool off. If it starts to cool off, just give it another shot of the heat. Nothing to it. Make sure it's on there nice. I'll do the next little bit. You don't want to get it too hot, or you don't want to get it so hot that the vinyl starts to melt. You just want it to soften. A little bit of heat will get the glue going again. Then you just kind of roll it around the corner. And then I'm going to let it cool, and I'll trim off the high edge. You'll see it's going to look really good, really good. Here's a detail I wanted to share with you. This is the panel at the foot of the bed, and this is the end of the van. And I want to put vinyl along here, I think. And I've got this detail here, which is really kind of goofy, because I want this panel recessed as far as possible to give you maximize the length of the mattress. And then it bumps out here, which wouldn't be too much of an issue, but I've got this round corner to deal with, and there's a definite reveal to it. So this is how I'm going to deal with that. First thing I want to do is make up a wooden piece to cover that. I'm going to cover it with foam. But in keeping with what I'm trying to do is I don't want any exterior or exposed fasteners to create little buttons or things. So my mattress is going to start about here. So I can fasten it below the mattress level, and that'll be fine. But the top, I got to find a way to hold it in. So you'll see here, hopefully you can see here. When I was doing my scribing, I had to leave a little bit of space here, or maybe I overcut it. But I'm going to take advantage of that now. And I've taken a piece of plywood, just a piece of 1/4-inch plywood, and I've cut it so that it'll slip up inside, and that will hold, that's going to hold that for me. So now all I have to do is scribe the shape I want that plywood to be, and then line it with foam. Well, I also made a vinyl panel for the inside of the sliding door. This is a total waste of time. I built this little cubby. It took about 3 hours. I don't think it's worth it. I wouldn't do that again. And I also did a vinyl panel for the space above the door, right in here. But because of the top cupboard, I had to make it so it could be removable and installed and removed with the cupboard here in case it ever had to come off. And I didn't get it on right away, and I want to show you what happened. Now, the way that I built that one that for over top of the door, on the back of the panel, I made a piece of wood, and you'll see there's a saw cut right here, and that's going to shove into the metal lip of the opening. It works fine. And I had, now, the vinyl that I applied, I put it on with contact cement. You watch the video, whether there was foam or not, didn't matter. And this particular panel had vinyl on it too. I just didn't get around to putting it on. But what happened was, and I was really shocked by it, this is the summer of 2021, and we've had some temperatures that were reaching into the 40s. And this contact cement can be reactivated with heat. And it actually got so friggin' hot, the contact cement got loose and the vinyl fell off of this panel. It wasn't in the van, it was just sitting on the shop here waiting to be installed. So I'm gonna see if I can heat it up and reactivate it, get it stuck back on again. This time I will staple it to the back and then I'll install the panel in place. Let's see how that works. And here is the finished product, all installed. Now for installing these panels, the door has a lip all around the inside edge of the indentation the plywood fits into. And so I found some colored screws that match the vinyl really well. I thought I might have to just get some nail polish the right shade and paint them, but I actually found some that were made. There's a number 6 5/8 metal screw. I think it's made for aluminum siding actually. And I very carefully and very symmetrically drilled pilot holes, then put the screws in. And you know what? And they almost disappear. They almost disappear if you're not looking for them. And then above the door is the panel that the vinyl came off of in the summertime that I reactivated. And it slides behind that top cupboard on that saw cut that I showed you and just fits over top of that little lip indentation, holds it nice and snug, and the screws that are exposed are the ones I would remove if I wanted to take that off. There's insulation behind that. And before I installed that handle, here's a little pro tip. I picked up a long door pull from Lee Valley. You can pick them up at any hardware store. And I installed that on the top of the door to give us a better purchase when we're closing the sliding door. My wife was having trouble just getting the door to activate properly with the little handle at the front. And so we added that longer pole, and it made the physics changed dramatically, made it a lot easier. Here is the panel behind the second seats. You really don't see a lot of it, but we really like the effect it's given us as a break from the wood. Now moving to the back of the van, This is the vinyl panel in front of the access to the bed. It has foam on the front, and I put a piece of foam across the top as well, a high density foam, to give it a little softness on the corner if you're leaning on it with your legs. We thought this would be more durable, and we're really happy with it. And then this is the head of the bed. The foam panel at the head of the bed. We rolled the ceiling down with 2 reading lights to give us a nice space. And the softness of the foam, of the vinyl, this has foam in front of it. In the corner, it goes up the corner, across the top of the door. So I was hoping to do across the top as well, but truth be told, I ran out of fabric. I have to find some other way to do that. And then we come down, and this is the foot of the bed. Again, with a nice foam, soft panel, breaking up the wood. We're really pleased. We thought it looked very professional, very comfortable. Hope you can use this for information. If you like this, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. Be well.